Y'all know what it is. It's time for the Weekly Bust, proudly sponsored by 20 Past 4, your one-stop vape and head shop, and the lovely Jamie St. Mark's.
Weekly Bust.
All right.
Let's
do it.
Here we go.
Episode 11, long time in the making, actually.
Yeah.
This has been crazy. So we've had several mishaps in the leading up to you coming in. Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, we're pumped about this.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know. So I just had some big news and then big day all together.
Yeah, you did.
It's been awesome. So I'm having a boy. Everyone that's been listening, yes.
What do you think of that?
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. This would be
10
my
years
second
coming.
son. It's taken a long time. Yeah, 10 years. I have 3 daughters, and then my first one's my oldest is my son. So now I'm having another boy.
Congrats.
I'm pretty stoked about
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
You should be.
And then your episode, same day. I did not know they were gonna lead up to all that.
Yeah.
So that's excellent as well.
It's a great day.
Yeah.
It is a great day.
Exactly. I got done with finals, so hey, I think we're all good.
Oh,
We're all
fuck
good.
yeah, dude. Do you think you did well?
I passed them all.
Oh, fuck
yeah.
yeah. Dude, this is a celebration,
Yeah,
man.
you found out, huh?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The college is pretty quick about it.
We also have several other people into the studio. Christian, what's happening, buddy?
Austin.
What do you want to go by, Mr. Kumar?
Diamond.
All right, man. Because I know he has his YouTube channel. You guys should definitely check it out. It's Cosmic Scene.
Sin. Yep. Cosmic Sin.
Perfect. Check him out on YouTube. He does a lot of video. He does drone footages. Make sure you check that out. And we got our sound man, Austin, and we got Levi's college buddy in here.
All right.
What's up, buddy?
What up?
Anyways, let's just kick this off, man,
Yeah,
right?
let's do it.
So we are with the American Gladiator, the legend, the man, Jim Starr, a.k.a. Starr Kalafat.
Jim Kalafat. That's
Yeah,
right.
Jim Kalafat.
Welcome, man.
A.K.A.
Thank you.
Laser.
The Montana legend, really. I mean,
you.
so you can't go anywhere within Montana State University without your name being hollered around.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and then you got the 90s on lock, man. And in the 80s. So
Right.
how did, I guess, let's just kick right into some of our stuff
Sure,
here.
you bet.
So growing up in Montana, well,
Sure.
you had the glory days before everything got real tied down and stuff. I think that I wanted to touch on you running the strip. You know what I mean? You got Great Falls glory days, right?
Yeah.
Before everything, you can't go there, you can't do this.
Right. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We got a phone call going in. It's your agent.
And then, an all-star, an all-state running back as well here at CMR.
Yeah.
Right
CMR
across the
played
way.
there.
Yeah.
So, I grew up in Montana, born and raised. I still have family that lives here. I have my mom and sister. My brother lives over in Missoula, and then I have a sister down in San Diego. But born and raised, my dad was born and raised here. My grandpa, everybody. I still consider Montana my home. It's a special place. So, grew up here and went to West Junior High right over
Oh,
here.
yeah. Okay.
Went there and got my first fight right down over here in the parking lot. And
I'm excited to talk about your fighting, actually.
kicked
Yeah.
some ass. And
Yeah, there you
then went to CMR, and that's it. Yeah,
All right. So CMR, though, did you break records?
I did. I had all kinds of records. I had over 1,000 yards my senior year, and first state and all conference, and as a
That's
tailback.
tough.
Yeah, that's insane, man. I was watching some of your video clips the other day, and you were a train, man, a wrecking train.
Yeah.
So with growing up in Montana, what were the things that you found most enjoyable to do with an area that we live in? We're in like the middle of Montana, just so everyone knows.
Hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still a big hunter. I come back every year from California, where I've been since 1987. But it's the one thing that brings me back to my childhood. We used to own a dude ranch up at the Barb Marshall. My dad and grandpa and uncle sold it when I was young, but they taught me how to hunt, and I've always been a hunter.
Honestly, I didn't expect you to say hunting.
Oh, really?
I didn't, man.
Oh, I love it.
I seen that you recently, I don't know how recently, but you're into mountain biking as well.
Oh, I love mountain biking.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
best friend does that, man.
Yeah.
He's intense about it too. Have
Yeah.
you gone up to Glacier and done the big mountain?
No, I haven't done
tracks or
that.
anything?
No.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good ride.
Yeah, so I love mountain biking. It's just, it's that outdoorsy feeling.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
outdoors. You're competing with yourself. Every day's different. You see different vegetation vegetation, different animals, different people. You're not stuck in a gym doing cardio for an hour, So it's
Absolutely.
a lot of fun.
You do any of the trekking, the 5Ks, or anything like that with mountain biking?
No, don't
just
do that.
Solo, huh?
Just solo. I love solo. I love ascending, not so much the descending. I love ascending. It's just, you compete with yourself, and
that's insane,
your legs are blown up and your lungs are on fire. It feels great.
If you could define yourself, it would have to be competitive to yourself, right? I mean, like, you are a competitor, man. Yeah. I heard you in a few different interviews use that word. I love to compete. I like to compete.
Yeah, and it's more about competing with myself.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to compete and be better than who I'm competing against. Mm-hmm. It's competing against myself and that will to just survive and kick ass. I mean, I really get disappointed if I don't do well. Yeah.
Was that
you always been that way?
Always. Yeah. Even I don't even know where it began. No, it was just who I am, and I've always wanted to compete and be the best, and be a good team leader, part of that team spirit, and a team leader. So, I just have always competed, and that will just to be the best and never surrender attitude.
Right.
Yeah.
So that drove you to having dreams of playing in the NFL football.
Yeah. And that all started. I think it all started in elementary school. All of us would go down to the J.C. Park down here.
Yeah.
And we would play flag football, and I still remember it. I mean, we would all, back in the day, and I'm sure these kids do it today, you give each other names. I was Larry Zonka or whomever we were.
Yeah.
And I still remember we were playing down at J.C. Park. I was in 5th grade, and I went up for a pass, and I got my lip caught under my tooth. And my tooth was stuck in my lip.
Holy shit.
And I kept playing, and I went home, and my mom's freaking out, blood's everywhere. She said, "Oh my God, we got to take you to the hospital." And I think that's where it all started.
Yeah.
It really did. It started then, and I've had
it don't hurt me now, you know what I mean? Like, I'm fine.
And that vision of always, I just wanted to play professional football so badly and how I was getting there, I don't know.
Especially coming from Montana, you know what I mean?
Well, sure.
I mean, you got to be one of the first people that gone professionally, especially in the NFL level.
Yeah. There was probably more than just myself, but it was just one of those things that I had in the back of my mind, and wanted to do. It's
not like it's in California though, where you have options that you can pave your way to professional sports,
right?
Which is crazy to me. Did you get that drive? What did your dad do, like, for growing up? Like, what drove you to that?
My dad was born and raised here in Great Falls, and he was one hell of an athlete. He went to Washington State and had a full ride scholarship.
The Cougs, Wazoo.
Yeah, boxing and football. Unfortunately, he lost his scholarship. He got in a barroom brawl, and he regretted it his entire life. He had to come back and he met my mom, who was from North Hollywood, California. And that's where they met. She came with him, and he started working for his dad in construction, and just that's what he did. And
Gotcha.
And that's where I learned hard work. He put me to work as a laborer.
100%. I mean, like, I always say that to my son. I was like, I want to give you a life that I knew that I could have done for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm hard on him. I get that dad drive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There's regrets, because I have regrets as well. My brother is a witness. I was a really good quarterback, and I just let it go by. And I had the coach, Grady Bennett, over in Flathead, reach out to me, wanted me to start as a freshman, and I let my better anxiety get the best of me, and I have never let it go. You know what I mean? I know that because guess who came in after me was Brock Osweiler.
Is that right?
I swear to God.
There's a stud right there.
And it was a regret, because Grady Bennett was setting me up for a good life, and I didn't even realize it, how good I had it. I met Drew Bledsoe through Grady.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and he did me some autographs and gave me some confidence boost, but it just wasn't enough to push me into a vision that they seen that I didn't. Yeah, it was a weird thing.
Ty had other shit on.
And that happens, when you're young. You there's other people that see the talent in that individual, and usually that young person, male or female, they don't see their own talent.
No, not at all.
I saw that in my own son, and it's just sad that they don't see that talent in themselves, and they could be something really special.
It's a weird thing to get inside your head, man, and like just let outside world affect you
Isn't that
internally.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
So dreams of playing in the NFL for sure. You accomplished that, so you can check that off a list, don't you think? Like,
it ended abruptly, but
that's what I was going to get to. But you did check that off. You made it.
I made it, but it wasn't
how
what
you
I wanted.
or what
Sure.
exactly.
Yeah, really sad. Not what I wanted. But
you did make a career out of other avenues in your life, though. That came from that. You think that? Because I was reading that, was it Nitro that you made a partnership with or a friendship out of the Rams, right?
Yeah, we met playing for the LA Rams and became best friends. And he and I lived together for about 3.5 years down in Newport Beach, and being single and crazy. And man, it was wild.
I 100% believe that.
Crazy.
Are you and Nitro still cool?
We're all right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, he does his thing, and Nitro's Nitro. He's arrogant.
Yeah, man.
A little arrogant and cocky, but whatever.
I mean, I don't think if you're a guy and you don't have that about you, then there's something
wrong.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
That's someone who probably didn't have a humble beginning coming from a place like here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's right. Yeah, he grew up in Costa Mesa, California, Santa Ana, and he's from California, but nothing wrong with that. But,
no, not at all.
So he's a good dude.
What I'm getting at, it wasn't the same grind you had.
No,
what I mean? So
no, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so at all, man. Your perseverance is real, man. You got some real go get 'em attitude. That's why I was saying it from the very beginning that you did things that people just don't understand. Because when you come from Montana, you just don't have the opportunities of Hollywood, Atlanta, Seattle. You just don't. You know, right. It doesn't even feel real to have an opportunity.
That's right.
And I think opportunity, especially back then. We can network now. Like the network's a lot different.
There was no social media when I grew up. You didn't have cell phones, so going out in the big bad world or the big world itself,
100% different feeling.
When you grew up in Montana and you went to school at U of M or MSU, you stayed in the state of Montana. You didn't go outside the state for whatever reason.
But you had the option to, right?
I literally just read something today actually on Reddit saying there was a quote saying the movie that made Montana famous, which was A River Runs Through It.
That's right.
People didn't know shit about Montana until basically then. You know what I mean? Which was a weird thing to think about. Like,
what about I guess it wasn't that watched fucking one up in Libby. The rafting one. Kidnap him.
Oh, the Wild, the River.
River Wild. Yeah.
With Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't a center, like a focal point though. Like Brad Pitt was huge in the 90s. Like it's weird. My wife didn't even know, like, because she's 23.
Right.
She's like, what's a Brad Pitt? I mean, she knew the idea of him, but she didn't understand like the caliber of who Brad Pitt was. And it was a weird thing that I read, and that's exactly what I was thinking when I thought of you. I was like, someone that was coming up out of the 90s to make it to where you have and the level of you were, like, I want to get in that later, the level you were at. I mean, the performance, the platform you were at was a total different scene. So I commend you for your perseverance. Is crazy, man. I wanted to dig into something that you just said a little minute ago, but it spaced me. So
that's okay.
Levi, go ahead and run it, my man.
I just wanted to know, like, your best or your favorite high school football memory.
That's a good question.
Best high school football memory. The only thing it's the only thing that comes to mind is the legend Jack Johnson. Wow.
Yeah.
Makes me tear up because that guy he taught young boys how to be men, not only on the field but off the field. That's what was unique about Coach J.
We got to see him in part of that video that we watched. He was the way he commanded you.
He's special, and he wasn't just a hard ass coach, a football coach. Mm-hmm. This guy, he taught you about life. So when football was over, he gave you the tools to be successful in life. There's very few coaches that can do that.
I think we're missing a lot of mentors in modern society like that. I think there's a missing piece that somewhere along the process it got changed.
Very true. And most of these coaches can either make or break a young kid.
Yeah.
And if you're a great coach, you look at history. If you look at a great coach, all these kids that played under that coach are usually great kids and great adults. Mm-hmm. But
Coach
you have an ass coach.
Yep. You have to be coachable.
Absolutely. You have an ass coach that just demeans and belittles a young kid. It sticks with you, and you have scars for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it changes you at a young age.
You better believe it.
Now, I think of Coach K, like, because I'm a Duke fan. Everyone who knows me knows I'm an avid Duke fan. And yeah, so, like, I'm March coming in.
Yeah.
Do you watch March Madness?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Who do you got?
I like yours.
You like Duke? Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. That's awesome.
The one that's winning? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like, speaking of coaches, that you look at past players when they talk about mentors and leadership, they always reference Coach K when they come into the NBA. Like, that's somebody that I continually look at. So did he? I didn't know anything about. Did he pass?
Coach Jay?
Yeah.
No, he's still here. He lives out right here with his wife Roseanne, and he just posted. Have you on Facebook? They do the 50 years of CMR, something like that. And someone posted a picture of Jack and his wife, and I made a comment today, and just that he's a special dude, man.
You guys still have a pretty good contact, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
cool. I call him probably once a year just to talk to him. He retired, and he had a big retirement party. This was maybe before Lowry came in, 7 years ago, something like that. And I think every football player that ever played for him showed up to that party here.
That's
in Great
amazing.
Falls. That tells you
something special. Yeah,
he's a special guy.
All right. So with Great Falls, the way it has, any society is going to change. Everything's more locked down. There's rules. What was the most lawless moment you had growing up here in Great Falls? I mean, our parents gave us stories like you could go out to the rivers, you go on the Hill 57, and you could just party, man.
Or the drag races downtown.
The strip, yeah. Do you remember anything like that?
Yeah, it was just crazy. I mean, getting in fights and, the cops, breaking you up and showing up, but never arresting you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. So we were out. So it was my parents' anniversary. I don't know what year it was, but it was on a Saturday, and they had a kegger out here outside of town. And so we were at this kegger, and my buddy, his name was Steve Dennison, and he's into powerlifting now, but he had a brand new car. I think it was a Camaro. And it was all souped up. Well, he left the keys in the car while everyone's around the kegger. And I thought, well, let's take it for a spin. It was
fucking A, you know it.
So I got on my buddies and I took it for a spin. I was thinking I'd just taking it for a spin. We were outside of town here, and the highway patrol stopped me, and they said I was going to get arrested, and I ran out in the field. They jumped after me, and we wrestled because in my mind, I did not. I had to go home.
Yeah.
I was scared of my dad.
Yeah.
We were going out to dinner at 5 p.m. and we had to be home. And I did not want to get arrested. And they arrested me. They took me down.
No.
Shop. Yeah, my dad came down and picked me up. And it was
for some reason, I had this like Hollywood scene in my head that you ran off and ran home like Forrest Gump. And you made it home.
It was awful.
Cops take him down to start wrestling.
I don't know why I had that in my head, but that's just something I had in there. I was like, he made it home.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. So did they give you a ticket, or did they just kind of...
No, they let me go, but...
Give you a warning?
Yeah, I was more scared about my dad.
I guess that leads right into my next question. I was like, so with you being a star athlete, literally every place that you went, including college and even coming out of college, you were built to do this like an animal. Did you get any special privileges? I wanted to know,
wow.
Academics, did they pass? Did they look the other way? No, they were still tough on you?
Or Coach Jay make you be on point?
Oh, he was on point, man.
Yeah.
He always told you outwork your teammates.
Had a good coach.
That's respectable. That's respectable, yeah.
Yeah, outwork your teammates.
Because that's just like Coach Grady Bennett in Kalispell. He doesn't
I never got any special treatment. I didn't. You go to college and you hear about these guys that never have to go to class. That's BS.
Yeah.
They still have to go to class.
Yeah.
They don't just pass you to pass you.
Sure.
I mean, you're not above the echelon of, just because you're an athlete, they're gonna pass you.
I feel like I know you a little bit from how much me and Levi have been researching you, so I feel like when I asked that, I already kind of knew that you were gonna to answer in that fashion, because I just don't see you taking an easy way out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even if it was given to you, I don't think it would have been taken anyways.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones I really wanted to touch on. If you had any, no perks.
Yeah. Well, let me get the insider on college. So my dream was to play professional football.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I got a full ride scholarship to quite a few colleges and went to Montana State.
At a choice?
As a choice.
Wow.
So I went there on a full ride scholarship. And I went to every class, barely missed classes, which you always miss class.
Right.
But I was always on time, went to class, even though I didn't enjoy school.
Sure.
I mean, I only went to school.
Were you pretty good? Were you a pretty good student academically?
No. No, I mean, I never applied myself. You know,
Yeah,
it was all
no,
about
sure.
Football, working out. That's all I cared about. But I had to get at least a 2.5 to be on the team.
To be on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
So I always went to my class. Always showed up, and that's just what it was. And because I always felt guilty. There was not, from the time I went to kindergarten. Listen to this. And the time I graduated high school, I never missed one day of school because I always felt guilty, like everyone was going to look at me.
Man, your parents must be one proud people, man. I'm serious. I'm
no matter how
serious.
sick or what. And I don't know who instilled that into me, but I just never wanted that attention. I hate attention. Like when someone recognizes me, I do. I get a little like embarrassed because I'm not arrogant. I don't think I'm cocky.
Do you know what you told me when I approached you the first time? You're like, where in the hell did you get that? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah. I get a little, embarrassed.
You're not old enough to watch those gladiators. But
how do you know that show?
Actually, they're on the Pluto TV. I fell asleep watching.
Yeah, they have it on Pluto.
You guys
TV.
were like fucking jumping around on like
Sweet
these monkey
shit,
jumping
man.
balls, dude. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was like laser and tower on this fucking thing, and you guys were like swinging like monkeys, grabbing these balls, taking them out. I was like, I don't know what that is, but I don't know what drill that is, but that's fucking sweet, dude.
Speaking of tower shit, he called me today. I didn't answer his call.
Oh no,
I gotta call him
that
back.
guy's an animal. He's huge.
Yeah, he's
dude.
a big dude. He's 6'6".
I was gonna say I pegged him about 6'7" when I looked at that
he's
video.
6'6". He's about 300 pounds right now. He's competing in bodybuilding. He's what? I'm 58. He's 56, I think. And he went back east and competed in whatever class he's in. Over 45s. He did okay, but he's still competing. Still looks good.
You look like you're still competing, man. So we were. I was just looking at a few different things, man, and I read an interview that you did with Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
And they were commenting on the same exact thing. They're like, he looks incredible. He's still stacked. He's still yoked.
Yeah, I still work out. What the hell?
No, you're an animal, man. You're an animal. Yeah.
Not just workout, dude. I get there at 2 and I see you still there at like 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if I'm leaving and he's just leaving, I must be off in 20 minutes. So
You got
so speaking of this gentleman right here.
Oh yeah, we got another.
So he was doing squats. A couple weeks ago? Yeah. So I went up and he was incorrectly doing the squat workout, but I helped him and just that's one thing that when you've been in the gym as long as I have and seeing people do some of these exercises incorrectly, it's just something in me. I see something that's gonna eventually they're gonna end up getting injured, and it's really hard.
Have you seen any nasty shit?
Even myself. I mean, it happens, and it happens quick, and it's nasty.
What's the worst one you've seen?
Well, the worst one I saw was me. I mean, it's just, I don't want to talk about myself, but this was 2.5, we were 3 weeks out from filming the third year of the American Gladiators because we did all the episodes in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
And Jesus.
That's fucking insane.
This was in May, and I was doing bent over rows with 275, and I had a buddy that said, one more. And you know that one more that you shouldn't do?
You know it, yeah.
You just know it. And I was already tired, and I did the one more, and I slipped a disc in my back, and the ambulance came, took me out, and I thought I was done with the Gladiators. But they did surgery, and the next day they did this thing called a percutaneous dissectomy, where they put a rod in your lower back and they pull out the slip disc. And I healed up within 3 weeks and did the show. But
that is fucking unreal.
But I've seen some nasty ones where people crush their hands and drop a 45-pound plate on their foot, or or I've seen a few guys rip a pec. They rip the pec.
That's what. And I was wondering if you've seen any bicep tears or anything like that.
That's pretty gnarly, man.
I know there was a tendon. I watched a video on YouTube. This guy ripped his tendon and it just let go of his whole bicep and it shot up his shoulder. It was insane, man. I was like,
it looked like a slingshot. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
So I know that you got. You just got a tail of highlights that I just went through, man. And we know that you did the smokers.
Yeah.
Did you ever
beat the same?
And I don't know if they do those smokers still today.
They do, man. Yeah, they're kick ass, dude. Yeah, they're kick ass, dude.
Shit, I love that shit. So I did this my sophomore, junior, senior year, and then the guy that I fought in high school is Doyle Irish. Doesn't that sound like a movie?
No. I literally like when I hear Doyle, like I hear a bully, man.
Doyle Irish.
Like I got the bully, Dolly Irish.
He's tough dude. dude.
I'm sure,
And he's
man.
a big dude.
When you got a name like Doyle, man, you got to be tough, man.
Yeah, he's tough. And so, and I fought him again in college and knocked him out again.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
That's crazy they met up like that.
Yeah.
I know you like so.
And then-
Another thing from the interviews. Go ahead, Levi.
Yeah. I've noticed after college football, there was a time where you modeled. How long did you do that?
Not too long.
No?
So,
No.
I was always about 230, 235. And so I had this agent after I got hurt with the Rams and got into acting because I had a degree in physical education and health, and I wanted to be a high school PE teacher, health teacher, and coach high school football. I just couldn't get a job. Whatever reason, you got to send resumes out then.
Sure.
So couldn't get a job, and then ended up in California and started doing some commercial work, and my agent said, "Hey, you're way too big to be a model. You need to get down to about 205." So I came back here in the summer of 1989.
Hey, man, that's when I was born.
And I went from 230 and I got down to 205, and I was already 6% at 230.
Holy shit.
So
Damn.
I lost, and all I did was I did an hour of cardio in the morning, worked out in the afternoon, and I did an hour of cardio, and I'm talking hard ass cardio, an hour at night. And I did that for 2 months straight, and I went from 235 to 205, and I started doing a lot of like modeling, like more magazine.
Did it go against your nature though?
It did.
Yeah,
because I always wanted to be. I always loved being just ripped and big at the same time.
Isn't modeling also? You can compete with yourself in that though.
100%.
Also.
Yeah. It was something that I got paid okay. It was something I did, and and unfortunately, I was only when I tried out for the Gladiators in 1989.
Yeah.
I was still doing and I tried out at 210. And I was going up against guys that were 260, 280.
I read that you were one of the smallest.
I was.
Pound by pound, yeah.
But I was the leanest, and I think probably one of the better athletes, all-around athlete. There were some good athletes on that show, but
I'm gonna ask you the same question that you got asked before. Did it make you better that you were the smaller? Did it make you more competitive?
No. I didn't think of that. I already knew. I was already confident enough in what I was doing. So it's just I competed again.
What was your favorite? I don't want to get into too much of AG yet but I do have a question about when your rise to fame and when you got famous, because your Nitro and your guys' relationship on camera reminded me of some legends that I looked up to, which was Sting and the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever get to meet either one of those guys?
No.
Damn it.
No.
God damn it. I wanted to know. The Ultimate Warrior was an animal, man. So I was just wondering, man, if you ever got a chance.
Okay, so you said you were one of the smaller dudes. Does that mean on your football team? Is that why you went to linebacker? How did that become about in MSU?
That's a great question. So
you were a heavy hitting dude too.
When I graduated high school, I was 200 pounds, and I was the leading tailback rusher in the state of Montana. So I was recruited as a fullback because I didn't have the speed to be a tailback in college. So they put me at fullback, and I shared that spot my freshman year in college, and then my sophomore year, I started at fullback. We got a new coach in by the name of Doug Graber.
Okay.
And we were doing winter conditioning between my sophomore and junior year, and just that winter conditioning at 5 o'clock in the morning, it was the toughest thing, and it really instilled to me what hard work was all about, because you work out, but this winter conditioning was an hour-and-a-half program in the morning, and you went from station to station to station, and it kicked your ass. And I wanted to be number one on every one of the events, and he came to me after the winter conditioning, which ran from January to March, 2.5 months, and then we started spring ball. And he said, "Hey Jim, you got the mental toughness. You're not supposed to be on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
you are a defensive guy all the way. I want to switch."
Were you pissed?
No, I was like, I was intrigued. And he said, "You're an animal."
Of course you are, man. Another challenge.
He said, let's switch you from, he said, "You want to play in the NFL, right?" And I said, "Yeah, that's my dream." He says, "I think you got a shot if we can switch you to linebacker, because you got that mentality. You want to rip people's heads off.
Yeah.
You can't do that running the ball. Let's put you at linebacker your spring season. Let's see how you do. If you like it, you'll stick with it. If you don't, tell me. You can start at fullback again."
Okay.
So I said, all right, and I kicked ass my junior year, that spring year, and I came in And then I started my first year ever playing linebacker, my junior year at college, and I broke all kinds of records. I still have my.
I seen that. Yeah, how many 200 something tackles?
202 tackles in a season, 32 in a game.
That's a fucking animal.
And so, and they were unofficial recorded NCAA records, even though they still stand. They were unofficial. They didn't start
because it was Division II, or
no. They didn't start taking official NCAA records like stats until I think. When was it? 1992, but it still holds the record. And the next year, then I was injured for 4 games, but still led the Big Sky with 177 tackles.
And that's 4 games down.
4 games I missed.
That's insane.
So I would have passed that record easily.
So are you a big time? Are you just Cats through and through, or do you just Montana?
No, let me tell you a little process that happened there.
Okay.
So my brother was a hell of an athlete. I mean, he was a stud.
Okay.
So he was the most.
How many siblings you got?
I have a brother and 2 sisters.
Okay.
So my
older brother?
Younger brother.
Okay.
By 6 years. He played linebacker at CMR, and he was the most valuable player in the state as a linebacker. He was only 5'9".
Just a little guy, actually. That's crazy.
Built
just
like
stout.
He's stout.
Underneath.
So, what are you guys doing under there?
Yeah.
What was the question? I forgot the question. You got me all nervous here.
No. So the big thing was I asked what your little brother, and then
am I a staunch MSU fan? So here's what happened.
Yes.
So brother's first team all conference linebacker, most valuable player in the state. Montana State, where I went, usually recruits within the family. They really do. Here's my brother, who is the best defensive player in the state of Montana. Unfortunately, he had a 1.99 grade average. You need at least a 2.0 to get a scholarship.
Okay.
Montana State never even looked at Joe, my brother.
Damn, shafted him.
University of Montana said, listen, we're interested in you. We love how you play, your intensity. You can walk on. You can earn yourself a full ride or a scholarship if you prove yourself. He walked on the University of Montana. His sophomore year, they offered him a full ride, and he became an All-American.
Fucking A.
And so that I have a little
distaste.
Distaste for that. I mean, my love of Montana State. That's where I played, right?
Yeah.
But my ultimate goal in life, it really would be an ultimate, is to be selected to the Hall of Fame for MSU. And so I don't want to downplay those guys either.
Well, let's just let's throw that out there, man. Hell yeah.
It'd be really cool to do that.
I don't think you're going to miss it, man. I think they'll induct you.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be really cool to be inducted. That would be the highlight of my entire... That would really... Because I missed the 1984 National Championship team. All my buddies were juniors.
Fuck.
So I missed that 4 games, right? My senior year. Yep. I could have gray shirted. The coaches came to me and said, "Hey Jim, you still have another year of school. Why don't you just gray shirt? You're already hurt for 4 games."
Yeah.
But I didn't care. I wanted to play that year, and I went in the 4th quarter of the 4th game that I missed, and I lost that eligibility. We went 1-10 my senior year. The next year they won the national championship.
Damn.
Can you believe that?
Just a choice, man. Just a choice, man.
But you know what? All things worked out.
You did, yeah. No, I would definitely agree about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were drafted into the NFL, what was your initial reaction to the Chiefs?
Well, I didn't get drafted. So here's what happened. So remember Doug Graber for my junior year.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So he came in, and then he was only with the MSU for a year, but he was one hell of a coach. I love the guy. He taught me. I mean, he's the one that switched positions for me, and I became very, very good at that position. And so he went on to the Chiefs, and he was the defensive back coach for the Chiefs, and said, "Hey, you had a bad senior year. Your team did shitty, right? Mm-hmm. You did 1-10. You missed 4 games. We think you're going to get drafted, but if not, we're gonna get you." Which I didn't get drafted. I thought I was. I don't know.
Is this agent or non-agent?
Non-agent. So
okay.
I don't know if you remember the USFL. I was drafted by the USFL.
So I didn't know shit about this, actually.
Yeah, United States Football League. So
it was a 4-year league, right?
Yeah. So they came out the year that I left college. That I was done with college, and I was drafted by the San Antonio Gunslingers, and they only drafted 2 linebackers, but they never called me for 2 weeks after they drafted me. So my agent, who's Ken Staninger, a big agent here in Montana.
Still currently?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Ken passed away a few years ago. But
condolences.
Yeah, thanks. And so he even said, "Hey, this is a brand new league. I don't know how it's going to go. Let's pass on the USFL. I do think you're going to get drafted." And
so for listeners who don't know what that is either, this is like a modern day. That was the day of like the XFL.
It's exactly like the XFL.
Right.
That's what it is.
Okay,
Yeah, just
cool.
another league that came around, and I think they lasted maybe 5 or 6 seasons, and I look at that again as another regret, because had I gone, they only drafted 2 linebackers. I could have started and had some really good playing time under my belt, and then I probably would have went on to the NFL, but unfortunately I didn't. And I was not a stereotypical linebacker back in those days, because they liked linebackers that were 6'2", 6'5".
Yeah.
I was 5'11" and a half, so I didn't meet that criteria for height.
Sure.
But I could outrun you and outbench you and everything else.
Outperform you and everything else.
Everything.
Yeah.
Hit harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But back then it was all about height, and I didn't have it.
I think they're getting over that shit
they're over it
because
now.
of like they even did that shit with Russell Wilson. Man, you're too fucking short. You don't need to be in the NFL.
There's so many linebackers now in the NFL that are 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", and they're
phenomenal players.
Phenomenal,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So
were you in the CFL? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Canadian Football League. So I
Fuck
went
yeah.
up there.
How was that?
That was pretty cool.
I bet it was, man.
Yeah, a little different. It was a lot of running. So again, they goofy way up there too. So they had me.
Dude, you were everywhere, man. Like truly, like you were. Your definition as I've been everywhere, man. Yeah,
man.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, they
Seriously.
had me lose. I went down to 215 because it's 3 downs and out. So unfortunately, up there, only 15. They only have 15 Americans on the team at one time, and if so many Americans, they only have so many spots.
Holy shit.
For injured reserve.
How many teams were on like during this league at this time?
How many? I think there's.
I mean, they got a full squad now, don't they?
Yeah.
Like I think 32 teams.
Oh yeah, Dave Dickinson, who played here, he's the big coach up in Calgary, and so it was another one of those opportunities that I thought, shit, here I did. I made the professional league, and then all of a sudden more players are getting hurt, so they only have so much room for injured Americans. So they send you home until that spot comes available, and then they can bring you back on the team or trade you to team after team. And I got frustrated, and they put me at outside linebacker for a couple games, and I did not do well. I didn't
really.
I didn't get the concept. And
you knew your position, and that's where you wanted to be.
Yeah, and I faltered when they finally put me in to start at outside linebacker. And I didn't do well, and after about a year and a half, they cut me and took me back.
You
home.
talked about injuries pretty tough just a second ago. I wanted to get into the fact that people who never played football or anything like that, and especially back then, those fucking helmets were heavy, dude.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they're nothing nothing like we had today. Yeah, like we're talking in like 2 or 3, 4 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
that's I mean, so
and much safer today than they were back.
Well, we have shock absorbers now. Like the splits in your helmets.
Right.
That's meant to absorb a hit.
Yeah.
They not then. You were just wearing a turtle shell.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. So you're thinking about the concussion rates were and you just didn't record them like we do now.
Right.
Would have been through the roof. I mean, people getting hit like they did then, we wouldn't have no fucking players on the field.
Right.
Well, speaking of concussions, I don't know if you probably not even aware of this, but CTE, which is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. So Boston University, that's a big thing in sports now. So
it's huge now.
I'm part of the CTE program at Boston University.
You are?
For the NFL. Yeah,
oh shit! I mean, I just watched a documentary on Netflix about Aaron Hernandez with his incident.
That's scary.
Yeah, they're blaming CTEs on that, man. They're like they fucked him up,
and he had a very bad case of it. You have the classic symptoms of CTE. They can't diagnose you until obviously post-mortem. But if you have the classic symptoms, which a lot of these things that I'm experiencing, I've had a yearly interview with Boston University, and they do a cognitive test over the phone, and each year I can see it declining.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So you're watching your own report.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang, dude, that's I mean, that'd be tough to watch. I think, man.
Scary.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You get it firsthand. So, random question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite marsupial?
Hell yeah.
Marsupial.
Yeah. He came up.
Let me think of that much.
That's an animal with a pouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
A kangaroo.
Tasmanian devil is also in there.
They got pouches?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I didn't know that. That's something.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, I just learned that. Thanks, Jordan, back there.
Damn, dude, that's an animal I would have never imagined to have a pouch. You know what I mean? They're crazy little shits,
I didn't
man.
know either. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Yo, I wanted to make a joke about Christian. I was like, well, Jim, you're probably the best looking guy in here since we've had Christian on the show. Everyone comments on his baby face.
Yeah, you got a baby face.
Yeah.
Good looking dude, though.
Yeah. So that's awesome, man. That was going to be one of my opening jokes, and I forgot about it, man. I just can't believe I spaced that out. I really like this camera setup, man. So this is something new that we're having mobile that you guys are going to get a lot more experience on. I can't give you, or Levi can't give you a detail, but maybe he will, and when it might be out. It probably won't be out as fast as we are with using...
We might get another audio out before this. But
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so, and then we have another episode coming up that's going to be probably filmed before we can ever get this one out. So just so you guys know, you guys got different videos coming out for the same content. So be prepared for different versions of this show, which
cool.
is it's for the first time. It's very exciting. Super stoked about that.
Very cool.
So you would say kangaroo?
I'd say kangaroo.
Fuck yeah, man. They're badass, dude. I love Australia, dude. I guess Australia is completely clear of all fires right now. They got monsooned recently. For those who don't know, we covered that in a few other episodes. We were concerned about the whole fires burning everything up.
I bet it's vegetating well, though.
Yeah.
So that's good, you know?
Yeah.
But do you know what's shitty? Is that during the Tool concert the other night, someone fucking came up positive for coronavirus.
Really?
And we're going to Tool in Spokane, so that fucking sucks. That was like the last thing I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
I'm a germaphobe,
scary.
man. So
Are you?
Yeah, so it trips me like
Whoa.
I'm scared of spiders, right? You know, everyone has their fucking
I'm scared
fears,
of
right?
spiders too.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm a sissy when I see a
hate 'em.
spider, man. Yeah, let's watch his. Let's watch this commercial. Jim,
his is
Jim can
shorter.
watch this another time.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain Bounty Hunters, season
All
1,
right.
Armed and Reckless.
Send me the link.
Yeah, no, I definitely will. Yeah, it's a nutty episode,
Look at
man.
him, here he is.
Oh, you were the Arnold?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Dude. So I have a question in this, man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This
Since
is
you're doing
literally
something
in
for
our
Total
show.
Recall.
Did you fucking ever meet Arnold?
No.
Never in your
What?
whole life?
No.
Oh, God damn it.
Saw him at the World Gym and Gold's Gym when we used to
Yeah, no,
work
I
out back
seen
in
that.
the
Yeah,
day,
I seen
but-
clips of that shit.
But no,
You'd
I
never
met-
seen him?
No, never met him.
Fuck, dude. I wanted. I was
What about
hoping that.
Mike Tyson?
No, Joe Frazer.
There you go.
Okay,
Frazer.
Big Joe, man. Do you have
Yeah.
do you have any cool stories with him?
No, just he shook my hand and goes, "What's up, brother?" Got a big old gnarly hand.
I
you know?
believe it,
Yeah.
man. That guy
He
hit
was
hard
really
as a
cool.
rock.
Those mitts, yeah.
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno, I've met him.
There we go.
Pretty cool guy. But no big. I haven't really met that many celebrities.
That
you know?
really fucking surprises me.
Yeah.
Like,
Come on, because you were one, you were busy.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah?
so. Who knows? I don't know. I
you were
just
that
met-
caliber of a person, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people knew who the fuck Laser was. Like, as soon as we said your name to our mom, she knew who the fuck you were, man.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Hey,
you
Mom.
guys.
Oh,
yeah,
there you
yeah,
go. Mom
yeah.
will
Shout
listen to
out.
this.
Like,
She's hyped. You gave her a hug before she.
she was stoked, man, and she's like, she just talked about it. She's like, I can't wait to see him on the show.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, man. No,
Cool,
you are
Mom.
that caliber of celebrity. Whether you you don't feel like it, like
No, I don't
because you're
feel
so
like it.
humble, man. But like, you definitely were that person in the '90s, man. And
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
it's huge.
Hell yeah.
I want to watch this commercial.
All right, here we go.
You guys want to get in on this and get a capture of what we're seeing?
No, I can.
Oh, you can edit it in.
Edit it.
Oh yeah, fucking cool, man.
Cool. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I can just insert
I can't believe you got the Arnold view of it.
while you are watching.
So I did all these stunts.
No shit. You were a stuntman too?
No,
Oh,
never repelled. Never flew a plane. Let me tell you, the scariest goddamn thing is this. That was a 5+ river.
you did that?
Fuck, and I was scared. As
Hell
shit.
I was
yeah.
fucking scared as shit. Hell yeah, dude.
Me and this guy did some white rider. It was
Yeah, we
nothing
did.
cool, but we like that. But it was fucking cool.
That's
Cool.
it. Yeah.
All
that was-
right. I liked it.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, that took 3 weeks to film that.
How come I couldn't find any of this? I guess it's just hidden avenues, huh?
Yeah, shit, that was a long time ago.
I was just
That's
saying,
so cool.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought to look up, hey, is he fucking Arnold in Total Recall? You know what I mean? Like,
That's crazy.
Is he
Yeah.
advertising for Toyota or no?
All right, let's take
All right,
a break,
let's go.
fellas. What do you think?
All right.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Work that shit. Woo!